All right, welcome. Okay, welcome. Just to let you know, this is being recorded for later on. So everybody who um, missed our webinar can join in and watch. We want to welcome everyone to our personal safety, expect the unexpected, and take nothing for granted. Today we're going to have myself, and you can go to the next slide. Just a little bit background on myself. Currently I'm the safety manager, safety director for the community here. I retired. This year is going to be 11 years ago after serving my 25 years. I've worked at Macaw Towers in the past and work here as a safety director also. Newly incorporated and a nonprofit. I'm the founder and CEO of the Neighborhood Security Watch Council. Little bit about that. Doesn't change anything. We just want to be the hub or the entity that provides the tools and resources through nonprofit donations that keep the program sustainable, providing T-shirts, flashlights, and anything else for the community, and really partnering with the police department, Honolulu Police Department, any island, and trying to keep the citizen patrols and neighborhood watch programs sustainable and keep them going, like how we do in Waikele here. Want to welcome Raymond Craig and a little bit about him next. You go to the next slide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Ray, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Raymond Craig. Retired, actually, it was 28 years. I didn't put that in there afterwards because I was smart enough to retire, but I went back and did it for free. So I don't know if that's good or bad as a reserve. I didn't know about Duane's background, but some of the one of the things that I did want to say after hearing what he just said is I was assigned to community policing in Kaneohe for a little while, and I was able to start up 6 groups while I was out there. And I will tell you that I am a very, very firm believer in the what community policing can do. I've seen whole neighborhoods turn around because of that. And the most important thing is having the community involvement. If you folks take the time to be involved, it's amazing what you can do out there.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. Yep. So we have the same core beliefs, and I believe our community and everybody here is on the webinar today has that same beliefs that together we can do anything and really take ownership of our communities and make a difference through volunteering. So yeah, thank you so much, and we'll move on to the next slide. This webinar and most of our webinars are going to be a result of the request from the community on, I believe Kim provided the request to do some kind of personal safety. Last month was how to fortify your home because we were having burglary series. So, this one is about personal safety. Use your natural senses. We have eyes, ears, and smell, and most of us has a great logical brain on us. So think about where you're going prior to going to the area. If you're going to the mall, plan. I know you always plan where you park. I go to Winter Mall. I always park on the second floor, and always come into the same area. So I know my surroundings, and I always familiar myself with the lighting and stuff like that. I might go into the mall and come out in the daytime, and when I come out in the evening, it might be dark. So all of those different scenarios play a big part of how you plan and where you go, and always have some kind of backup plan of escape. You hear a lot of it all the time when you go into the malls on the mainland. They have shootings, active shooters, and stuff like that. So, just have a plan of escape. Most of the the malls do have a back area of the mall, choose through the different stores. So if you do see something and you hear firecrackers or whatever you think it is in the mall, go into a store, because there's always a back entrance that you can get out from the back. So have that plan. Just think about where you're going. And I guess being a police officer, and Ray can can comment on that too, is that we always are looking around at different things, and you might not see it, but because we train officers, we see things a little bit different from you as regular community members. So think about where you're going, plan it out, look at your surroundings, be aware. Get off your phone when you crossing the parking lot or you crossing the street. You need to be off your phone and you need to put it away, because if you're not looking where you're going, you might walk right into something that you don't want to be in. So look what's happening around you. Use your senses. Yeah, think about it. Look and listen. Take your ear pods off. I told this all the time to my kids. They're always having an ear pod in their ear, and then you talk to them and they're not responding. So I know that it's something to take out of your ear. Even the kids walking around nowadays with the headphones on, take them off. Pay attention to the sounds, sights, and noises in your environment. Okay. And lastly, if you feel something ain't right, your spider senses, everybody has that. Your hair on your neck stands up. Just remove yourself from the area. Don't stay in that area or the event. If it doesn't feel right, go to some place where it's lit and you feel that it's okay. Ray, you want to comment on any of these?
Yeah, I also do active shooter training, and when we start talking about that, the way the mind works is it wants to make things normal. Meaning, when they interviewed people after the incident occurred, a lot of them said, I thought I heard popcorn, or I thought it was fireworks. And your mind wants to make things normal. It doesn't want to say something bad is happening. And we cannot get into that denial stage. On the last one, you're talking about your spider senses. That is so important. So many people discount or don't pay attention to that anymore. If something doesn't feel right, pay attention. That's your unconscious mind picking up something that you're not consciously aware of. So if you're having a bad feeling, listen to that. That's what's keeping you safe right now. And really, don't discount it at all.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah.
Next, please. Moving on. Personal tools. Every time you get out of a car, you have your fob on you. All these things. When you're walking, look at people, acknowledge their existence. Somebody might be sitting on the bench looking at you or watching you. Turn and say hi. We live in Hawaii, man. We share aloha. Just say aloha or just say hi. Let them know that you saw them. Don't put your head down and just walk right past somebody. Let them know that you see them. Because if you acknowledge them, then they didn't know that you saw them. If you just walk right past with your head down and try to avoid having eye contact, I think it's a disadvantage for you. I always say to do that. They used to call me Sergeant Aloha when I was in the police department, because I always told everybody aloha. And that's the way it should be, because your head is up, you're looking around, and you're acknowledging people. And that's a key component about being safe. When you get out of your car, every fob nowadays have the panic button or the remote that really turns on your horn. And if you come out, like I said, if you went in the mall and it was daylight and you came out, and now you're parked in a dark area because you didn't plan it right. You do have some tools in your hand to make it safe for you to walk in a dark area. Push that panic button. There's no law saying that you can't have a honking horn for 2 minutes till you walk to your car. Get in a vehicle, leave it on, start your car up, and turn it off. And you're in the car, your doors are locked, your vehicle is ready for motion, and you're safe. Okay? So think about that, because that's a tool that you have all the time in your hand. Your cell phone light could light up the area, recording as you go, put it out in front of you, and look around and use it as a tool to get you to an area where you're safe. It'll light up your area and record your path. It's a deterrent. Anything that deters crime is a personal tool. Ray, you got something to add to that?
Yeah, really, really good advice. The only other thing I would add to that is people get like pepper spray, or they get tasers, or they get any other kind of tool. Those are great if they're available. A lot of times, though, people will tell me that, oh yeah, it's in my pocket, or it's in my backpack, or it's in the car. It does no good there. So if you're walking to your vehicle, that's when you're going to be the most vulnerable. You need to have it already in your hand, ready to go, kind of thing. He's talking about using your cell phone and recording and lighting up your path. Beautiful. It's already in your hand. It's not in your pocket. It's not somewhere else. If you're going to have something that you're going to use for self-defense, it should already be available and ready to go at that moment.
Thank you, Ray. We're going to move forward again. Self-defense training. We took it when I was small. We took a little Kempo, a little Aikido, and when we got in the police department, you had to do some judo over in Palolo, judo facility over in Palolo. So, self-defense classes are a great way to learn how to react to a hostile situation. It'll cause you to get in shape, and it'll give you discipline, self-discipline. For kids, my kids, I send them to, now everybody likes to go to Gracie's and rolling around on the mat, the jujitsu. So it's a new thing. It's the ultimate fighting and all that stuff. But, we still have judo classes. I send my kids to judo classes. It just teaches you how to fall, throws, and anytime somebody grabs you, how to react. So it's great for kids to learn some discipline, how to protect themselves, and for getting in shape. Once you go in the gym, you come out, you'll be dripping. I mean, that's just the way it is. Hot. It's never cool. And some of them teach you different types, different martial arts teach you different things. They would cover different stuff of escape, striking, ground fighting. The jiu-jitsu is ground fighting, weapon defense, Aikido, throws and stuff like that. Just attack prevention. So every martial arts, every different type has a different meaning or a different way of doing things. But it's basically the same, and if you're just starting out, a little kid, they start at different levels, even adults, right? If you first time you're taking some kind of self-defense training or martial arts, it's going to start with white belt or whatever belt it is, according to your physical abilities and your age. You're not going to put you in a kids group and you're going to be in the same group. You guys are going to be in the same size people. You're going to pair up with the same size people. So that's important for me as a dad, and even for myself, learning the martial arts, some kind of different self-defense training. It's everywhere in our community. I believe you can walk into different areas and you're gonna see a different martial arts studio. So you can contact them. Community centers have them. I believe the city and county of Honolulu, different gyms have them. You can check the online sites and you can find a dojo near you. So with that said, Ray.
Yeah, I'm still with the martial arts community. I've been teaching and training for a long time. A little bit of advice, like you're saying, is go and look at the school though. If a school tells you you can't watch our training until you join, walk away, don't go back. If you have your child and they're going in, they say as the parents, you can't watch the class. That's not the school that you want to go to. If you're going to take your child, take them to a class and watch. because everybody teaches a little different. And you want to make sure that the way that instructor teaches, the child can learn from there. And then you as an adult, you're watching, is that somebody that I can learn from? Do I like their teaching style? Because everyone does teach a little bit different. So you want to go and you want to watch. And all the reputable schools, all the good instructors they'll welcome that. Come and watch. I want you to see what we're doing over here because we want you to feel welcome and we want you to come into our class. It doesn't matter the style. You're looking at the instructor.
Awesome. I believe Ray is a sensei. He used to be part of the training academy staff up there in the dojo, and he always had his gi on. And I was afraid to match up with him because he has such strong power. Besides Mike Cho.
Oh.
But anyway, thank you, Ray. And moving forward again, as Ray talked about a little bit about pepper spray and stuff like that, it's very important to know what kind of safety device you have on you, or personal safety device. I'm going to let Ray talk about these things because he's a specialty in this type of personal protection. How about take over there, Ray?
Okay, so if we're talking about the OC or pepper spray or whatnot, the thing about these is understand the limitations. We all hear about features and benefits of everything, but more than anything, you want to look at the limitations. Is this something that I can work with? Because that limitation is something that we have to take into account because that's what's going to make this thing work or not work. So for a pepper spray, we understand that the limitation is that it's a distraction only. You're going to spray somebody and and part of your practice has to be that you're leaving. You're not going to spray somebody and stay there. It's not going to work that way. And being that it is a distraction, even when you get sprayed, there's going to be about a second and a half where nothing happens. So the person's going to get hit and then it runs into their eyes and then it's going to start taking effect. So the whole thing is you're going to take this thing out, spray, and you're running. And let this thing take effect while you're already trying to get away or get your family away from this area.
There you
Just,
go.
excuse me. If you have the option, you're going to be using a stream, try and look for the gel. The regular stream is good. The gel is heavier, so it goes a little bit further and you have a little bit more control. You're probably going to like that one a lot better.
I believe we do carry that on our belt, if I'm not mistaken. Malcolm purchased that type for us as just like you say, it's a distraction. It's not something where you're going to stand over somebody and keep on spraying them.
Mm-hmm.
You spray it and you get away. Thank you, Ray. Next, please.
My
Ray.
expertise.
There you go. That's your instructor right here.
So again, tasers, again, the limitations, there's 3 factors that have to be there for a taser to work. And we're dealing with electricity, so you have to have a positive and negative. So 2 projectiles are coming out. And if anybody's ever fired a firearm, we know how easy and how accurate those things are. And those bullets go to exactly where we want them to go every single time, right? No. There's a lot of practice that has to go in there. And now I'm going to give you a device that when you press the trigger, 2 projectiles come out and they don't go to the same place. So accuracy is one of the biggest factors with this thing because I have to get both probes onto this person to complete the circuit, a positive and negative, for the electricity to flow. If you miss with one of those darts, nothing's going to happen. It doesn't work for you at all. So you got to get both on there. So again, we're talking about the limitations. If both darts get onto the person, you get that flow of electricity, we know what the effects are. It's amazing and it works very well. And it's a great defensive tool. However, the limitations come in that if you miss, it's not going to work for you at all. And now you have to use it as a stun gun, and there's limitations with that part too.
There you go. And Ray is an instructor, and that's why I asked him to come and be on our webinar with us, because he is the guy that certifies people to carry these. if you don't know what the probe is, the probe it's like a harpoon. You know, if you shoot somebody with a jacket, it's not going to go through the jacket. If it's a thick jacket, it won't. But if it's a skinny windbreaker type, it may. So it has to penetrate the clothes. It has to go into the skin, and it's actually got barbs at the end that keeps it in there. I got shot with it when it first came out, and it wasn't fun pulling them out.
Mm.
But anyway, just think of that. And you know, the bad thing is that, you know, if you pull out something like this and somebody else has a concealed carry, and they might think of that as a threat, and they might use their gun. So just be aware that if you do carry some kind of personal protection like this, there is pros and cons to everything. Okay, pros and cons to everything. Moving on. Concealed carry firearm law. This is just an application, but I do carry my Leosa. I am registered to carry my weapon. Is part of the law enforcement retirement federal law that you can carry a concealed weapon because of your work. You cannot act as a police officer or anything. It's about just your personal protection. But you know, Ray, you want to speak on this topic also?
Yes, the biggest thing, if we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to make a blanket statement. So for right now, we're talking about concealed carry firearms. We just talked about tasers, and before that was pepper spray. And it doesn't matter the tool or technique that you're talking about. The biggest factor that I'm going to ask everybody is, especially if we're talking about a firearm or even a taser, is if you're going to carry any type of tool or device, can you use it? The whole purpose of having a firearm is that you're going to shoot somebody with that firearm. So my question to you is, can you do that? If the answer is no, because there's only one reason why you have it. If the answer is no, then you shouldn't carry it because now it's a liability. You're not going to take it out and point it at somebody knowing that you can't press that trigger. You're basically going to give a bad guy that firearm. It's a liability now. It's the same thing with the taser or pepper spray or whatnot. If you're not able to use it for whatever reason, don't carry it. It's going to be used against you. So we have to make that conscious decision that if I'm going to get a taser or a firearm, that I'm prepared to use it in the manner that it's supposed to, and I'm going to be able to use it to protect myself or my family or a loved one.
Right? Thank you, Ray, about that. I mean, you know, through your whole career, you carry a sidearm, and even when you're learning to shoot it and stuff, it doesn't always go in the right place when you're shooting your gun. The bullet does not go where you think it's going to go sometime. It's a matter of flinching. It's all kind of different situations you're in. You know, going into condition black, when and how to use it, all those things. It takes many years of training, and every year you have to requalify to carry your weapon. So, you know, this law, you know, there's a lot of people wanting to get into this and want to carry a gun, but just know that many officers have died in a line of duty from their own weapon because in the struggle, their weapon was taken away from them, and they got shot with their own gun. So, like Ray said, just be aware that there is consequences when you do carry any type of personal protection. Moving forward. Okay, well, just to recap, you know, use your senses, think about it, plan your day where you're gonna go, look around you when you reach there, look around you, acknowledge people, listen to sights and sounds, and like Ray said, if it feels bad, if your spider senses are not is going off, then you know you should acknowledge it and remove yourself from the situation or the environment or the event itself. You know, personal tools, like we talked about, say hi to people, acknowledge their existence, use your remote control on your fob that you have for your vehicle. There's a panic button that lights up the lights, and also the horn goes off If you feel that it's an unsafe area where you're gonna walk to your vehicle, use it, put it on, get to your vehicle, lock the door, start up your vehicle, then turn it off. Okay, so even your cell phone, the light to light up your path, put it on record, and you can record everything that's happening around you and light up your path. Okay. And then know your surroundings, have an escape plan. Like I said, if you go into the mall and you hear what sounds like fireworks, get out of there, go into a store. Every store has a move away from the sound. And then if you can't, take cover into a store because there's always a back there to get out of the store. All right. Like we said, Ray, right? If you're carrying the taser or any type of personal protection, it has a pros and cons, and it's very dangerous. The result can be dangerous. If you're taking out a gun and you're pointing at somebody, you're gonna either take somebody's life or that person's gonna take their gun away from you and shoot you with it too. So it's good and bad. One thing I did not put in the summary is, Ray, you want to talk about martial arts again?
If anything is good, I'm not going to say one art is better than the other, but what it does is it helps with your mindset, that you're able to react, and that's nothing but positive. One thing that I would like to throw in here, if I have the opportunity, is strength in numbers. If you can avoid going to places by yourself, especially places that you've never been to before, brand new places, it's always good if you're with somebody else. Go with a group if can.
It's a good one. I missed that. That's why you're here with me, Ray. You got my back. It's like always. Oh, can we take some questions and answers, Q&A? So if you have any questions, please let us know. You can either type it in on the chat, or if you want to ask it, you're more than welcome. Please ask away. Anybody asking there, Kristen? Well, if there's no questions, this has been recorded, like I said, and it'll be able to be seen again on YouTube, I believe, right, Kristen, on our website. We're gonna put it on YouTube. And if you missed last month's webinar, how to fortify your home, that's also on the YouTube website for you to view. And we'll be sending out QR codes in the next newsletter for you to scan and watch them if you can't access the YouTube. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, Duane or Raymond. It's Eileen.
Hi, Eileen.
Hi. Hey, I've seen situations in the bus or out along the bus stops where these females are molesting. They're being molested. And on the bus, from afar, I see them doing all kinds of stuff. That one guy doing, what do you do? What do you do when you see other people that are being attacked or molested or whatever?
Call 911 and be involved. That's the whole point of community policing, is getting involved, taking ownership of your area. And one of the things that we tell people for community policing is, got to understand that if you call 911, they're going to tell you, do you want to meet with the officer? And vast majority of the time, and I know why, a lot of times though, people will say, no, I don't want to meet with the officer. The problem when you do that though, you've just tied our hands. And we're going to show up, and if there's nothing there at that moment, or they've stopped doing what they were doing, you literally prevented us from taking any kind of action. And we want to. There's a whole reason why we're all officers. We want to be able to help. Yeah. I'll use the example. You have two people across the street of your place, and they're dealing drugs, and you see them pass the drugs between each other. And you call 911 and say, I see two people out there dealing drugs. Do you want to meet the officer? No. Officer pulls up, looks at the two guys, everything going all good. They're like, yep. And the officer drives away, and you're like, why is the officer so lazy? Why didn't he do something? Well, legally, there's nothing that we could do. Now, if you meet with us and you give us a statement and you tell me that that person put drugs in his right front pocket, I can now go into that pocket. And what I find, I can take appropriate action on that person. So if you see somebody being molested, that's not right. I don't care in what any context, that's not right at all. Somebody calls 911, we need to know. We want to meet with the person, and we need to get a statement from you. So please call it in, get involved. More than anything, get involved. You don't have to stay right there. You could go to the next bus stop, or you could go to 7-Eleven or whatnot, so no one knows that it was you that called. And then the officer can go over to where this is at and take appropriate action from there. But again, call 911 and meet.
Yeah, and if you're on the bus, you can also let the bus operator know what's going on, and he can be that person to take action and call. Also, but if you do call, you can tell them the bus number, what route you're going, and where you're at, and they're gonna stop the bus. But most of the time, if you want to walk up to the operator, they will take action. They control the bus, they can stop the bus, and they can call the police and make sure that that incident is taken care of.
And most of the buses now have cameras inside that's filming. So you need to report that to the bus driver.
Okay.
Thank you, Eileen, for that question. Any more questions out there?
We do have a couple from the chat. A request from Mary. She asked if we could have a self-defense class.
Hopefully we can. We'll put that on the agenda. We'll discuss it with our staff and our board, and then get some approval from them. And then I'm sure we can. And we do have exercise classes, wellness class. Martial arts is a part of being well. I know we did start off with some Tai Chi with Sifu. So we'll explore that again for you. Definitely. That's like Ray was saying, it's good for your well-being, and it also gives you wellness. It's a part of being wellness, and Janelle can speak on that. We started the wellness program here in Waikele, and it's done wonders through stretching and also some Tai Chi. So definitely, Mary, we'll look into that and see what we can do.
And we have one more question from the chat from Kim. She's asking for some safety tips while using an ATM.
Great, Ray.
Biggest thing is, again, go in a group if can. And more than anything, like we said at the very beginning of this, is if something doesn't feel right, pay attention to that. And not, hey, you know what, I'm on a time schedule, this doesn't feel right, I still got to do this. No, you don't have to. You can always go to another one. And that's just being aware and paying attention.
I like to use the ones that's in stores, because there's people there all the time, there's workers there. Even if you got to pay the $2 or $3, whatever it is, if it's not your bank, it's better to spend that $2 or $3 to get it than go put yourself in a dark location by yourself. And it's free. What is free? Life is not free. Your life is, you can't buy life, right? So you want to make sure that you are always in a safe environment. And I would really highly suggest that you use ATMs that is in a open store. I think every store has them. Foodland, I know Tamura's has it. Different banks have different partnership with different stores. So I think every 7-Eleven has them. I think it's First Hawaiian Bank or Bank of Hawaii. But yeah, definitely use the ones inside. That's the best thing I could say to you folks.
Right. And then make sure no one's too close to you to pick up your PIN numbers, or when you start punching in stuff on the keypad.
Definitely. Any other questions?
No other questions in the chat.
If not, I really, really want to thank Ray for spending some time with us. And hopefully, if we do get some approval for some self-defense, we can look up Ray and see what he can do for us, or we can go to his dojo where they train at also. So
Yep.
definitely thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Just remember next month, the third Wednesday of the month. The time might change, but I think we're gonna keep it there. And if you have some type of request that you wanna see us do a webinar on, shoot us an email, Duane, Duane at wca-ohana.org, or give us a call. Let us know what you want to see on the website, on the webinars, and we'll get it to you. All right. If not, mahalo. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate your time. Aloha, everybody. Have a safe day. God bless.